Hello and a very warm welcome everyone to chapter
That was
4
quite a
of the
hike.
Call of the Sea game series. And again in this chapter we are covering 100% walkthrough with all the Mrunals and of course the safety object. I'll try to keep the commentary as low as possible for this chapter so
I've been
that you
seeing
get the
these
full immersion
horseshoe-shaped pillars
of
all
the
the way
video.
up.
And
Do they
we'll
mark a path?
let Norah do the main talking. And I'll only do the commentary only when it is
I'm
utterly
at the top of the
necessary.
mountain. I can see that giant diamond-shaped thing really close from here.
And also if you're only looking for the puzzles and the location of the secret objects and all that, you can just skip to the puzzles.
Took me a while to get here, but the views are worth. These drops of rain are so refreshing. Feels really good. Are these figures singing like a choir? Heavens, looks like a rock slide crushed all the tents. All but one. A torn picture.
So while she's
Maybe
interacting
the
with all these
Polynesian guide
objects,
didn't like
and
people
before we
taking
dive into
pictures
the
of his
puzzle
scar.
section, I'll try
The
to
only
recap
tent that
the
came out of
previous
the rock
episode
slide
or
in
what
one
is basically
piece
going on in the
is the
story.
one
If you're
filled
new to
with
this chapter,
amulets.
I'll try to summarize the story right now. So basically, our main character, our main
didn't
heroine of
accept
this game,
Frank in the
Norah, is
university.
suffering some kind of
should be
unique
ashamed.
illness. There are black spots on her body, and
dear.
she's ill most of the time.
Oh, I'm
So,
sorry, but art has never
and
been your
her
thing.
husband,
Well,
in order to search the cure for her illness, went on to expedition with some of his friends to find the cure for the disease on this secret island,
I'm
some
not
sort of
sure if
secret
Harry ever got to
place
read this note.
with supernatural abilities and powers. And on his journey, he got lost, and now our main character Norah is trying to look for her husband, search him out where he's gone, and this is her journey. And some of the puzzles have already been hinted by her husband, so she's basically trying to bring all the riddles to at one place and solve the puzzles. So this is the basic premise of the story right now. And these are all the setup that you're looking at has been done
That is
by her husband
adorable.
and her expedition crew.
All right.
And we are just
Can you turn it off,
recreating
Jack?
what they did before.
Please.
1 2 1 2
Should not
testing.
do this.
Nope, doesn't work.
And also want to tell you is
Homemade
that this is basically a
loudspeakers.
tragic story because
can't
on their
provide a sound.
expedition to find a cure for the illness,
There's a
they
symbol
lost
inside.
so many people, so many lives. Like in chapter 1, we lost, I exactly don't remember the name, but I think it was Roy, one guy, one of the friend. Then in chapter 2, we lost another guy. He went mad basically because he was also suffering from the same disease which our main character is suffering. They call it black ooze in this game, and his name was Dr. DeWitt. He went mad and stabbed one of the other crew members of the expedition. So I don't want to spoil beforehand, but this was the
Homemade
premise
lab.
of the
There are some
previous
sort of
episodes. So I
sound
just summarized it
devices
here, guys,
built
for you
around
guys,
this
so you
amphitheater.
better understand the story. I try to tell you all this because these are just interaction that she's doing and trying to analyze all the things. Now, once we have acquired all the interactions, now we come to the puzzle part. Okay. For the puzzle part, you look at the symbol and you accordingly press the button to which the symbol is responding to. Okay. So we have pressed the 3 buttons. Look at the symbol and look at the first, and then we press here. Why are we doing this?
like
Because
singing
each
so
symbol
much.
corresponds to a
Harry and I
particular
often
location
sang together.
of that switch.
When my
So you press
condition
the
got
switch
worse,
of
Harry
that
thought it wasn't a
particular
good
symbol.
idea to make unnecessary efforts. And we stopped singing. I know it was just for my
And
own
this will
good.
be this
But
one.
these tone
So,
columns
there you go.
just
So the first puzzle, this was pretty
Amazing.
easy.
The hatches are opening.
You know, it just goes on. Now water will start flowing down here in this area. It will be getting collected. This is basically to create Okay, I don't spoil you. Don't want to spoil you guys beforehand, but just be patient, and I actually want you to watch this whole video if you're not playing this game. But if you want to play this game and solve the puzzle for yourself, please do try it and then come and watch the video.
They built all this just with pieces from a beached ship. Frank sure must be a real whiz.
And I will also try not to talk while Norah is talking.
No power. Harry's convinced the answer to my illness lies inside that temple. Nakal? So this is like Atlantis, but in the Pacific Ocean, right? They built loudspeakers on top of this tower to reproduce the effect of the organ. Very clever, old pal. His low spirits are obvious in this photo. What was wrong with Frank? He looked so thin.
The puzzles in these games are really complicated, so if you love puzzles games, I really want you guys to try it out.
Oh no! Frank died. So Frank fought in the Great War. Oh, Frank had a daughter named Evangeline. Oh, I'm so sorry.
So we see
He's
another
such a
death
talented
in another
man.
chapter. So as you
And he
can see,
seemed to
this
be a
was
good
basically a
friend of
tragic
Harry's.
expedition for the crew in search for the cure for the illness
Now the wheel is moving.
of her, or the wife of one of the characters.
Blood-soaked rags. He thought it was a flesh wound, but it kept getting worse.
He died because he got stabbed with Dr. DeWitt
Bible.
in the previous chapter
It must
with a
have belonged to
knife.
Frank.
He got wounded and his wound was not healing up. So he basically got sick and died because of the infection from the wound. Now this is the second puzzle. We need to bring the turbine working, and now in order to, what we actually need to do is this. We see the holes on the circle. We need to bring the holes down so that we could put in the
These
rod of the
levers
lever.
connect those gears to direct the wheel's
So once
energy
the
into the
rod enters
turbine.
inside this hole, the turbine starts working. When we do it for all three levers. Now again we'll pull the rod of this lever inside the hole. Turn it down. There you go. And now again the third lever. The rod will go inside the third lever and the turbine will be functional.
That was easy.
Everything is working now. Only thing we need to adjust the power of
These
the
buttons
turbine.
seem to adjust the amount of energy that goes through the turbine.
Now for this puzzle, basically you can see there's only one yellow light lit on the right one. Now each middle symbol corresponds to the left and the right symbol. I'll show you, like if I go for this one, when I click this you can see, and if you click this one, oh yeah, voila. So middle symbol
That
corresponds to
should
the
give the
left and the
turbine
right.
some energy.
Now once the energy is back, we're gonna turn that on completely by pulling this levers down.
I did it. Now everything should be powered.
We need to turn on the electric suppliers. I call them electric suppliers.
I'm really sorry about
wherever
Frank.
they are.
Harry doesn't
Like there's
have
one
many
over here,
friends. When you finally
and
do
there
get
is-
to know him, he's so
There's
witty,
gonna be one
so
on
funny,
the top of the tower.
a loving
so we're gonna
person.
go to the top
but
of the
it
tower.
takes a lot for him to open up.
It has a great story. The story is kind of a mystery and it has a good suspense to it, and I'm really intrigued by it. I still know what is going to happen in the end.
Well, what? Did I do something wrong? Come on, work. Come on.
Now if you want only the puzzle section of the game, you can skip to the puzzle section, but I won't be cutting out section because this gives the
What's happening
exact
this time?
moment where you find more about our character and to the story, so I don't want to cut this section out just for you guys so
I
that
can
you
feel
have
the fever rise.
the glimpse of what is going on with our main character
My
here.
illness. Is it coming back? Is this an ocean? An ocean that dried up? My cane. No. I would rather die than
The
use
pacing
that
here
damned
is kind of
thing again.
very slow, but you do get the idea that our character, our heroine, might be delusional, or some kind of mystery and suspense is at a high pitch here.
These really are ancient bones of a very ancient creature. They are so dry. I need to find water. My bed. How many times did I think I was going to die lying in this bed? I'd better find some shade before I dry right up. The horseshoe-shaped pillar. And that diamond shape again. I can't take much more of this. I feel woozy. Is that a house?
Now, this is one of those moments where you see or realize that our character is kind of losing her mind, losing her senses. Maybe she is not alive, maybe she's dead. You're getting confused with the story now.
That's not a house. That's our house in Inglewood.
Why is she having these kinds of vision? Or is she exactly at this
Am I
place?
dreaming? Or am I just losing my mind?
So these thoughts are going to come to your mind when you're going to play this story in a very sequential manner, or if you're watching these episodes in a very sequential manner. It's a very interesting story,
Harry? That's our mailbox, too.
and it has been brought up to us in a very interesting way as well. So this is her house, and we're going to interact with some objects in her house here, like this.
I miss you so much, old pal. I am definitely losing my mind.
See, what does he say here? I'm definitely losing my
I
mind.
don't understand what is happening, Harry. Are you...
So even our main character is confused, and so do you
Checkmate in 3 moves. The Everhart twosome. What a duo. The happiest day of my life.
One thing I would recommend here is that
And
you
one
do
of the
not
few pictures
interact with the toy,
It's a photo of my mother and me.
because if you interact with it, you will be
She
taken
had
out
just
of
gotten
this
last from her.
illusion, dream, or whatever it is. So you go and first
My
interact
mother's
with
music
this.
box. Yet again.
So this is the place where you get the
Cousin
secret objects for
Robert?
this chapter.
But I don't have any cousins.
You interact with this box in the last, otherwise you will be taken out of the sequence. What a melody. I love this melody. I love this. Just
What a sweet melody.
it does have a horror vibe to it.
What was that? Another vivid dream? And my music box again, but it wasn't broken anymore. And what a catchy tune.
So we take it what she said. According to her, it was just a dream and not some kind of magical delusion or what. So all the electric supplies have been turned on except for this one. Wow, what a melody. So now I think the device that simulates organ sound is working.
I haven't sung since I got sick,
So
but let's give it a shot.
oh, I love this. I just love her voice. And this melody, of course. I probably think there should be a movie for this game. It deserves it. Up till now, the story has been so great. The adventure has been so great. They need to make a movie on this one. I would prefer the animated version more rather than going for the live action because I'm like anime guy.
That was quite a show.
I think I promised you guys to keep the commentary as low as possible, but oh man, I'm sorry. I just can't stop talking.
This feels like
Okay, so in this
hallowed
section
ground.
there's gonna be a lot of Mrunals to interact with because there are actually 14 Mrunals on this chapter. So we go here. I think I should not miss any of them. Let's start interacting from
Are
here.
they bathing him in black ooze?
We are ready.
His hands are changing, like in my dream.
Yeah, look. There's some kind of reference to.
Look at those spots. They look like mine.
So there's a reference that the character, because of
Now
this black
he's
ooze, or
some sort of man-fish?
is changing to a fish.
Fish of every size and shape.
Some kind of resemblance or references here. So we are just moving to the one of the most complicated puzzles in the game.
This looks like the same kind of elevator that was in the campsite.
That was in chapter 1.
These patterns look too familiar.
Chapter 2 actually. So
She sounds worried for him, I think.
don't worry guys, I'm here to give all the interesting details about this story. So I think we are not missing any point here, any section. Just to clarify, because even playing for the second time it feels as if I might miss out something.
Where is this taking me?
So yeah, we are reaching to the final, not the final, but still I'm not going to spoil it, but this is the toughest section or the most complicated
It's like I'm
section of the
inside the
puzzle.
giant fish head that I saw from below.
There are gonna be 4 Mrunals on this in this area, which is actually called the fish head. Our character refers to it like that. So this is the first Mrunal. There are gonna be a lot of symbols and of course interactable
I've
piece of
seen
papers.
this symbol in the murals several times. I guess it can be applied to both water and black ooze.
So for this puzzle, I'm gonna be explaining what is happening, how you're gonna do it, and why is it so complicated. And we're gonna first we're gonna interact with all the items and the objects and also the Mrunals, so that we note down everything in our journal, and it becomes easy for us to grasp, so that when anything is
Harry
needed,
marked the
it's
symbol
basically
for
in
a
front
reason.
of our eyes.
I'd better write it down. Harry threw a bottle against the wall. Was it because he was frustrated for not deciphering this?
So
Or because of what he discovered when
at
he...
this point, Harry
broken
almost
liquor
gave up
bottle.
hope
Is
because
this
he
Harry's?
knew that there is no
He
hope, there
hates
is no
booze.
cure for her illness. That's what she's referring to, and he started
complex
drinking.
pattern.
and he was really frustrated actually. So we'll interact with all these Mrunals. This is the third one, and with this piece of paper, of course, which will give you some
It's
kind of
amazing
hint
how
for the
words
puzzle.
and symbols can keep their meaning after thousands of years.
This is a puzzle section, so I'm going to be talking a lot so that I don't miss out anything on the explanation part. This is the fourth Mrunal, and every Mrunal has a symbol to it, and you are looking at it. So if you're doing this, so Harry
Someone punched the wall so hard that
on
they
the wall
bled.
just because out of
Was
frustration.
it you, Harry?
Yeah, what I was saying is if you're looking at the Mrunals, you will be looking at the symbols as well. These kind of symbols.
This one was easy, I think.
Every Mrunal has a identical, not identical, separate, unique symbol on it. So there's gonna be a little cinematic sequence here. So we'll play that afterwards
God's blood.
once we interact with all the objects.
Does this mean that... Is this related to me somehow, to my disease? So that's how you mark the symbol's orientation. I'm starting to understand this language. This one was really hard to figure out. Good job, Harry. Well done, Harry. Boy, am I lucky that you did the hard part of figuring things out.
Two symbols combined becomes a new symbol. We'll play this, but I'm gonna just turn it on because it's just a song. So
John McCormack's Dear Old Pal.
I
of
hope I
Mine?
don't get the copyright for this.
Favorite song.
Okay, so we'll play the cinematic scene.
My dear old pal, Norah. I wish I could write something else, but a long time ago I promised you I would never lie to you. So here goes. There is no cure for your illness. What you carry in your blood is changing you, and it will keep changing you until it's done, whatever that means. There is nothing we can do to stop it. My dear old pal, my partner, the love of my life, I am so sorry. I've made so many mistakes. All those deaths because of me. Frank, DeWitt, Roy. All for nothing. Maybe Teodoro is right. Maybe we can return to the beach and build a raft to get back to Papiete. Maybe in less than a month, I could be back.
There's no cure? But he didn't finish the letter. What did you do, Harry? Where are you? I know for sure that you didn't go back home, so what? What do I do now? Are you still on the island? I have to find you.
Now for this complicated section of the puzzle, I would tell you that each Mrunal represents a unique symbol. And the first thing we should do is go for the first Mrunal, which will be, we'll starting from the left, and we'll look at the unique symbol present on the Mrunal, and accordingly, for example, the first Mrunal represents the liquid, okay, and we'll see how many symbols it is responding to in the quadrant, which is the bottom figure on the right page. Now, as you can see, the first Mrunal, which is liquid, is responding to the first and the third quadrant, okay. It is responding to the first and the third quadrant. So now we'll go back to the North Star and we'll try to align it according to the quadrants. So this is basically the easiest one because it's already set. So we don't need to change anything here. You can see it. It's already in the second and the third quadrant. Now we move on to the second Mrunal. We'll see what it is representing, which symbol it is representing. It is representing transformation, and we'll see that it only corresponds to the second quadrant. As you can see, it's corresponding to the second quadrant. Now here the symbol is present in the fourth quadrant, so we'll try to turn the North Star towards the right, and now you can see it's in the second quadrant according to the North Star and its alignment. Okay, yeah, so now we move on to the third Mrunal and we'll look at the other symbol. There you go. Third Mrunal, yeah, there you go. So this is the third Mrunal. Look at the symbol, and which symbol is it responding to? It is responding to life, and life is responding to the first, third, and the fourth quadrant. But here it is first, second, and fourth quadrant. So we'll try to align it a little bit. We'll turn the North Star towards the right and see what happens. It's first, second, and third. Now it's first, third, and fourth. So it has to be first, third, and fourth quadrant, okay? Now we're going to fourth Mrunal and see the symbol. The fourth Mrunal represents eternal, and eternal responds to the second, fourth, and the first, second, and fourth quadrant. Here it is first, third, and fourth. So we'll try to align it so we get the first, second, and fourth quadrant with all these three symbols, okay? I'll try to turn the North Star a bit right, and now it becomes first, third, and fourth. And now it becomes first, second, and fourth. Okay, so this was the alignment, and here we solved the puzzle. It was really a complicated section. If you figure out, it becomes kind of easy, but at the first time, yeah, it definitely took me like, I won't gonna lie, guys, it took me out like 7 to 8 hours. I might be a noob in solving the puzzle, but yeah, I'm a sucker for puzzle games, so I love it. And when I did solve it, it was really worth an experience for me. Now this is the final section of the puzzle for this chapter. We're gonna interact with this object here.
Thing? Is that the outline of a hand?
And there's gonna be one piece of paper on this box.
It appears Harry didn't advance any further.
So we'll have these 3 drums looking figures, and they will be responding when pressed to a certain sound.
Drums of some sort.
We'll name it like 1, 2, and 3. This will be the 2. So we'll press the 2, and there will be some kind of extra sound produced. So we'll hear the sound. Try to hear the sound and what kind of sound is produced by each drum here, and then press according to the sound that you like. This sound. Again, press the sound according to the sound you just heard in the echo. After it's complete, I'll also write the mechanism or the numberings after this puzzle is completed, okay? So this is the proper sequence for pressing the drums in the proper order. So this will complete the last puzzles of this chapter, and we'll probably be moving to the chapter 5 of this awesome game. I do hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Harry said it didn't work for him, so it shouldn't work for me either. Unless there's something different about my hand. Anyway, Norah, you know what you've got to do.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. Thank you very much. We'll meet in the next chapter.